Every time I release a new collection, I feel like an imposter. That's just the truth. I always feel like they're not good enough, like I'm not good enough, like if I had more time, I could have done them better. Why should I even release this collection when there's so many other good ones out there? All of these thoughts and feelings go through my head every single time, and I have been releasing a new collection in my business at least 5 times a year for 4.5 years. That's exhausting. And I know what you're thinking. Didn't I click on this video because she's going to tell me how to overcome imposter syndrome? And yet here she is telling me she's still feeling it. But here's the thing. To me, overcoming doesn't mean ever feeling it again. To me, it means feeling it, acknowledging it for what it is, and moving past it. If you have ever felt like a fraud or doubted your abilities, you're not alone. Every business owner and every artist in every genre has felt this, and I dare to say continues to feel this. Maybe not as often, because I do believe, like a muscle, you learn to trust yourself over time, but definitely to a certain level. When I released my very first dog bandana collection back in May of 2020, I was so nervous. I changed their designs several times, changed my mind about our fabrics, and kept thinking, why would anyone want to buy it from me? I was so nervous, in fact, that although I had a small community on Instagram in my dog account, I rarely announced this new project out of fear of judgment. I looked up to these dog moms. They were just like me, passionate about their dogs, and I was scared. I remember mentioning it once or twice and then creating a whole new Instagram account for the business so I could market to strangers because, well, it feels better to talk to people you don't know. How crazy does that sound?
So I'm heading to the fabric store to actually restock some of our Christmas fabric because they are selling out, and I am so very happy that this is happening and that you guys love our fabrics this season. And it's always, I wanted to share that it's always very nerve-wracking to share a new collection because number one, you want to usually outdo the one from the year before, and number two, it's like you're releasing a baby into the world to be judged, right? And so I'm always scared to share what I gathered because I always doubt myself, and I always think, did I make the right choice? Is that cute enough? Will people like it? Am I the only one that likes it? And so yeah, it's nerve-wracking. So I'm happy to hear that you guys are liking it and that I made the right choice.
So, what have I learned that has helped me manage dealing with imposter syndrome? I say celebrate small wins. And I celebrate my wins, big or small. And your wins at the beginning may be small, but celebrate them anyways. Huge compliments, multiple sales in one day, a 5-star review. By the way, I still celebrate every 5-star review I get. I get a notification on my phone and I pause what I'm doing, read the review, and thank them out loud. So, talking about celebrating the small wins, I was in the middle of editing this video this morning when I got a message on Instagram that I'm celebrating. And I want to read it to you because I think it really hits home the point I'm trying to make here. And here's what the message said. Hi, I just wanted to say your last reel was so inspiring and made me feel seen. LOL. I know it's probably silly, but as much as I love my profession and career, I'm pretty burnt out and recently started learning how to sew and embroider to make my dogs bandanas. Maybe one day they'll turn into something more. Your products are gorgeous. So I was jumping up and down when I read this message because when I was making that reel, that is exactly the feeling I wanted someone to have. Because I am in this journey and I truly believe that everyone should be following their passion and doing more of what they want. And my intention when I was making that reel was just this. And so as soon as I posted it this morning, I got this message, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes later. And I paused and I jumped and I replied to her right away. And I am so thankful that it hit home for her because it's a full circle moment. So I wanted to share because this has literally just happened to me as I was editing this video. And I love the synchronicities. Once you celebrate your small wins, they help to boost your confidence. The second thing I have learned is focusing on progress and not perfection. And this is a hard one for me because I tend to be a perfectionist. I guess that's the part of me that helped me in my 20-year career as a paralegal. And but it's also hindered me in ways. So I have learned one thing, and that is done is better than perfect. Because your products or your art will improve only through doing. The more you do, the better you get at doing those things. And one of the last things I have been doing is practicing more self-care routines, which will in turn helps again with your confidence. If I'm being honest, this one is one I'm still working on. I have been reading this beautiful book, The Artist's Way, which I love, by the way. And one of the key things it's mentioned is to take regular artist dates. Do things for you that inspire you. Do them by yourself and for yourself. They don't have to be grand things. It can be a couple of hours at your favorite bookstore, a movie date, a morning at the museum, an afternoon at the park, whatever it is that is for you. I think the point in doing things that fill your cup help your creativity flow, which in turn boosts your confidence. If you have ever dealt with imposter syndrome yourself, I would love to hear your story. How did you manage it? How do you get over it? How do you push through to follow your dreams without just this overwhelming feeling of not being good enough? If you could leave us your story down below in the comments, it would help so many of us. And so I want to leave you with a quote from The Artist's Way that really hit home. And it says, "You must be willing to be a bad artist. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. By being willing to be a bad artist, you have a chance to be an artist, and perhaps over time, a very good one." I hope you find some inspiration in this video, and if you do, just leave us a like and subscribe. See you on the next one.